The message glowed on my screen, a ghost from a decade past. I like you. The sender was Cameron Croft, my high school deskmate, the same boy who'd once dumped my homework in the trash, scrawled a turtle on my desk, and publicly branded me the ugly duckling. In front of the entire class, a cold laugh escaped my lips. I typed back a reply, my fingers tapping out the words with icy precision. Is this a marriage proposal or an invitation to dinner? If it's dinner, sorry, I just had a farewell meal with my ex-husband. If it's marriage, I'd suggest you wait. I'm still waiting on the life insurance payout from my third. My name is Skylar Reed. I'm 28, and I'm a senior strategist at a top-tier consulting firm. I never wanted to attend the 10-year high school reunion, but my best friend, Jessica, had been relentless, so here I was, and of course, the one person I wanted to see least was sitting directly across from me. Cameron Croft. He wore a bespoke suit, his hair perfectly coiffed, a world away from the disheveled boy I remembered, but the playful glint in his eyes was the same, a spark that instantly rekindled a decade of unpleasant memories. Skylar, you're as beautiful as ever, he said, raising a glass of red wine, his gaze burning into me. I gave him a cool nod and went back to my phone. Did he really think 10 years and a cheap compliment could erase the scars? Do you remember back in high school? I remember. I cut him off, preempting his saccharine trip down memory lane. I remember you throwing my homework in the trash. I remember the turtle you drew on my desk, and I remember you calling me the ugly duckling in front of everyone. The atmosphere in the private room froze. That was just, we were kids, Cameron stammered, his composure finally cracking, and I arched an eyebrow. Have you had an epiphany? Are we doing the whole arrogant CEO falls for the girl he bullied trope now? I'm serious. I really like you, he said, suddenly standing up, a note of desperation in his voice. I've been following you all these years. I know you're single now. I am too. Why don't we stop? I held up a hand. First of all, I'm not single. What? Cameron froze. I'm a widow, I said with a serene smile, watching his expression morph from confusion to utter shock. That's impossible, he blurted out. Why is it impossible? I've been married 3 times, I said slowly, savoring each word. My first husband cheated, so I divorced him. My second died in an accident, and my third, well, the insurance company is still investigating the cause of death. The room fell silent. Every eye was on me, jaws practically on the floor. You're joking, right? Cameron's voice trembled. Believe what you want, I said, standing up and grabbing my purse. But if I were you, I'd find a nice, clean girl. After all, with a black widow like me, who knows what might happen to you? I let my gaze linger on him, leaving the threat hanging in the air. Seeing the color drain from his face gave me a sick thrill of satisfaction. This was the price for what you did. Well, everyone, I'll be going now, I announced gracefully. The insurance payout hasn't cleared yet, and I have a meeting with my lawyer. I walked out of the room into the deep night. Behind me, I could hear the whispers of my classmates and the distinct sound of a glass shattering. I didn't look back. 10 years, and the ugly memories still clung to me like a second skin. Sitting in my car, I closed my eyes, and the images flooded my mind. A sweltering afternoon in physics class, a drop of ice, cold water landing on the back of my neck. I turned to see Cameron, a smirk on his face, a water bottle in his hand. Oops, my hand slipped, he'd said with faux innocence. For the next week, his accidents continued daily. Sometimes it was water, sometimes juice, once it was ink. My school uniform collar was permanently stained, a hideous abstract painting of my humiliation. The worst was on my birthday. He'd taken a cheap, garish lipstick and covered my desk in crude lip prints while I was at lunch on my textbook. He'd written, "To the ugliest girl in our class, happy birthday." The laughter, the pointing, the camera flashes. I had wanted the floor to swallow me whole, and now, the architect of my misery was telling me he liked me. I started the car, the hotel's neon lights blurring in the rearview mirror like the cold, indifferent eyes of my former classmates. My phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. Skylar, that was all just an act, right? You can't be a widow. I know I messed up back then, but people change. Just give me a chance. Cameron, I sneered, and blocked the number. Back home, my phone rang again. It was Jessica. Skylar, weren't you a little too harsh tonight? She chided. You practically terrified Cameron. Harsh, I scoffed. Did you forget what he put me through in high school? A pause on the other end. That was 10 years ago. 10 years, I cut her off. So the scars are supposed to just vanish with time. The memories were a torrent now, the photoshopped, obscene pictures plastered on my desk. Cameron's mocking voice. Wow, Skylar, didn't know you were so open-minded. The time they filled my backpack with salt, triggering a week-long allergy attack. The time they deliberately threw a basketball at my head in gym class, causing me to fall and sprain my ankle. The rumors they spread online. Skylar, are you still there? Jessica's voice pulled me back. I'm here. I took a deep breath. He's the CEO of a public company now. You know, he's matured, so his IPO erases the past. I shot back. If I were still that poor, ugly girl, would he be telling me he liked me? Silence. Jessica, I said, my voice cold and clear. Do me a favor, tell Cameron I'm looking for my 4th husband, and this time I'm aiming for someone richer than him. I hung up and sank into the sofa. Then, I opened my laptop and pulled up a financial report on Cameron's company. As a top business strategist, I'm fluent in the language of numbers, and this report was full of suspicious entries. I'd been waiting for the perfect moment. My phone buzzed again. An image file. It was an old class photo. Cameron had his arm slung around my shoulder, a brilliant smile on his face. I looked like a cornered animal, stiff and terrified. Remember this? You were so cute back then. The text read. He probably forgot he'd had his friends hold me down just to take that picture. I deleted the message with a smirk. He had no idea who he was dealing with anymore. I opened my safe and took out a USB drive. It contained a decade's worth of research, all of Cameron's dirty little secrets. I've been waiting for this day for a very, very long time. I was staring at my computer screen when the morning meeting notification popped up in my inbox. A new project kickoff. It should have been a normal Monday until I saw the name of the client representative, Cameron Croft. Fate has a twisted sense of humor. In the conference room, Cameron sat at the head of the table, his eyes sweeping across the room before landing on me. A knowing smirk played on his lips. This project is critical for our company, he said slowly, his gaze locked on mine. We expect your firm to deliver its best. I knew then that my professional life was about to become a war zone, and he didn't disappoint. For the next few weeks, Cameron made my life a living hell, picking apart every proposal I submitted. This creative is too bland, Skylar. It completely misses the market. The data analysis is flawed. Redo it. You're Your team's execution is subpar. I recommend a new project lead. He was retaliating, and I knew it, but I couldn't back down. He started manufacturing reasons for us to be alone. Why are you always so cold to me? He asked one night when we were the last two in the office, moving uncomfortably close. We can start over, Mr. Croft. I suggest you maintain a professional distance, I said, my voice flat, still holding a grudge. He chuckled. That was just kids being kids. I've changed. I can give you anything you want. Just say the word. You can't give me what I want, I said, looking him dead in the eye. A conscience, for example. His face darkened. Skylar, don't push it. Don't forget who the client is here. Then you're free to speak with my managing director, I retorted, packing my things. But before you do, I'd suggest you take a very close look at your own company's financial statements. The color drained from his face. Yes, I was ready. Those cooked books, those questionable cash flows, they were my ammunition. You like playing power games, Cameron? Let's play. The next morning, the office air was thick with whispers. I knew what was happening. Cameron's favorite weapon had always been rumors. I heard she had a reputation in high school, always chasing after guys. No wonder the client can't stand her. How can someone like that be in charge of such an important project? It was history repeating itself. When the lies start spreading, the truth becomes irrelevant. My boss, Mr. Henderson, called me into his office. Skylar, Mr. Croft has some serious reservations about you, he began, looking uneasy. He mentioned you were classmates, and that some of your past behavior might reflect poorly on the firm. I laughed, a sharp, humorless sound. So you want me to apologize to him? You know how important this project is, Henderson sighed. Just smooth things over for the good of the company, and you think an apology will make him back off? I looked my boss in the eye. You clearly don't know Cameron Croft. I pulled a file from my bag and placed it on his desk. This is a 3-year financial analysis of Croft Innovations. Take a look. Doesn't their cash flow seem problematic? Henderson's face grew more and more grim as he read. Where did you get this? I have my sources, I said with a faint smile, and every number in there is verifiable. You're suggesting he's using this project as leverage against us, I said softly. Why can't we fight back? If these financial issues were to be made public, his company would face a catastrophic crisis of confidence. Henderson was silent for a long time. You've been preparing for this. I've been waiting for this day for a very long time. As I walked out of his office, a text from Cameron arrived. Play nice, Skyla.